Oh yeah, I got a new part in. What could it possibly be? Let's open this up and find out. It's some genuine Honda parts, as you can see. And it's actually the rear axle tensioners for the chain. Here's the part number if anybody wants it. It's for the Z50R, and I think it also does the XR and the CRF. They're all universal. Here, let me open up so we'll take a better look at them. Awesome, look at that. They come nice in chrome with the bolts and the washers and everything. And the little teeth on top here that let you know. These line up with the thing on the back, swing arm. So you know how far you take them. And also they're the right hole size, because the ones that were on there now had to be drilled out to fit, and it looks like the person who had them last like just found them off another random pit bike and put them on. And the tensioning side on one of them isn't long enough, so on one side you only have like the threads up to here, where obviously these are full all the way up, so the wheel's a little bit like to one side, and when you ride it, it wobbles because of that. So I'll be putting these on shortly.
Oh, it is a bit cold to be doing this, but as you can see, this one doesn't have a lot of thread at the end. It's literally like 1 or 2 threads cut there. Too much stress on the little back end, and the wheel's crooked. Well, you can kind of see it on camera. It points that way more. You can see the threads on this one a lot longer. The new ones will obviously fix that easily, so it's basic. I just unscrewed this one now kind of easily, and I'm just gonna jam out the axle, grease it up while I do it, and swap that out real quick. And I'm gonna hold it up with the jack. Yeah, it's not the right way to do it, but it's just how I'm gonna do it. And it's out. Quick little bit of grease on it. I'm not sure if you're gonna pick up on it, but I did a pretty generous layer throughout the whole thing. It's fine. Lubricated this enough times already. Just a little bit. Cleaned off the old one and new grease. Cool, so that kind of took me a while because I had to go find a washer that goes, I had to go get the washer that goes between the adjusters and the actual part of the metal itself, because otherwise these kind of bent in. And I got one for both sides. See, keeps it nice and straight, otherwise it had this awkward like lean into it. But now I'm just gonna go ahead and adjust them, get it nice and straight, get the chain tension nice, and tighten the bolt up, and I'll probably take it out for a ride. Alright, so I got those tossed on, got it out as straight as I can. Use some of the little measuring cones right here at this side, some of the measuring stripes right there. But I also just kind of lined it up by eye. I don't know if this is going to be easier to tell on camera, but it's pretty straight. I think at some point I am going to buy a laser level to be able to know if I'm getting the tires pretty straight or not, because I just kind of eyeball it most of the time. Hello! One of my favorite things to order. But look, I finally got the filter for the Z50. I also ordered the actual intake box, and that's on the bike now. But this comes pre-looped, so I'll probably just toss this on. And this officially completes the last part of, well, I'd call it an engine, but it's the last part that I need to technically make it like run good. Like, it already has all the parts on it. The filter, I already went through everything, top end. So this just completes it. Yeah, I think now I just want to get the chain guard, the number plates, the seat. It would be cool to get an OEM kill switch, but those are pretty expensive, and it would be cool to get the OEM bars, but those are also pretty expensive, and I like the bars that it has on now. I think they're off of CRF 50 or an XR 50, but they're definitely not the monkey ones because they're not the foldable nor the racing types. But I have seen on the 84 Z50Rs that the bars do come in a different solid style that aren't actually adjustable. So I don't really know what I have now, but I'm really excited to toss that on because it means I'll be able to actually ride the bike around the neighborhood without worrying about the intake or the carburetor eating a bunch of dust, which means I should probably clean the carburetor before I go drive it out with the new filter, since I have been riding it around with the carburetor just opened up for a bit, but I don't think it's done anything bad to it. But either way, a good cleaning can do in order. But I do have the extra clean carb that's not tuned that I could toss in, and I mean tune it up a little bit to make it run, but I'll see. I'm really excited on how the bike's looking so far, honestly, and I really do enjoy like just putting it around the neighborhood. I think the fastest I've taken it has been 30 miles an hour, which I know it's not really mini bike or motorcycle or car related, but holy crap, you can't really see this. There's a bunch of dust that was packed up just on the inside of my, there we go. Yeah, you can see that on the inside of my charger. And I should be like, why is it so loud? Anyway, I already took this little guy here apart, but I put a little bit of oil in the middle shaft and got all the dust out, because man, when I used to turn on my Xbox, or my Xbox would just idle and I could hear it going, and I smacked it a few times, I'm not gonna lie to you, and that made it a little bit quieter, but it turns out all the dust in here causes this to vibrate really hard, which shakes like inside the shell, which is this, that's all the screws. And it was causing that weird ass noise, but now that it's clean, I guess it should be quieter. Not like 100% quiet, but hopefully not enough for me to notice it. Ignoring the CB.
Oh man, it looks horrible. Let me line that up. I think it's a little bit prettier sitting like that. Oh, this is inside now because it's such a clean bike. We don't really ride it and it doesn't leak or anything, but yeah, I have the filter in there now, as you can see. All of it's actually together in really well. I don't remember the last time we started it. I think maybe 2 weeks ago, but still waiting on seeing if I can save up to get a seat as well as the fares for it. Maybe that OEM Honda kill switch would be pretty nifty, and at some point I do want to adjust this rear brake because it's really sloppy. You step on it and it really doesn't do much for stopping, as well as locating an OEM spring, but I'm not too worried. I actually like the tension of that one, snappy. Kind of like it. I like how this looks rusted out, but I'm gonna repaint this soon, so I'll see how I feel on this. It's not too shabby, I think. I'm not sure if I want to go all original with this because I've seen some conversion kits for disc brakes in the back and longer trailing arms, swing arm, whatever you'd call that in the back. With yeah, these shocks were nice though, but yeah, I think longer throw ones would be cooler. But no, since mostly art at this point.